Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. The Amber Heard v. Johnny Depp trial completed on 3 fronts. Hollywood's most renowned is known as Elon Johnny Musk, not to mention Jason Momoa having spoken up, departing. What shocked everyone was Amber Heard's decision, a harmless retreat to Madrid, or at a deuce from their disclosure, the potential to alter the course of events. Hence, start the saga. Amber's story. Johnny Depp and Heard initially crossed paths in 2009 on location for The Rum Diary, causing a bond. It blossomed into a connection in 2012, which was quite some time after. Broke up with Vanessa Paradis. It was verified by Depp and Vanessa Paradis, their breakup, his long-term companion, and started seeing Amber in 2014. And by both of they were married in a small ceremony but were already engaged ritual on the Bahamian island of Depp in 2015. Garnering attention for what appeared akin to a tornado romance. But now that it has all ended, Johnny Walker, Jason Momoa, and Elon Musk broke the hush he had imposed on them, and amaze everyone with their wanted to mention her. But before we do, on that, let's make sure we have all the information. Thus, marital strife initially manifested itself with an event that received a lot of attention regarding the canine companions of Amber and Johnny over the Australian continent, without breaking the law. Australia has a lot of illnesses and pests that are prevalent across the globe, which is why must adhere to stringent biosecurity regulations. There was a hint of this dispute earlier on the brink of a very unpredictable connection. By 2016, Amber ultimately decided to got a restraining order and got a divorce. Assaulted Johnny, bringing up instances of she asserted was a victim of domestic abuse, who plays the lead role in Pirates of the Caribbean, was really abusive and violent, especially becoming numb from drugs and booze, an assertion that Johnny vehemently refuted, describing the bond strongly intense and occasionally explosive, but making these assertions without malicious purpose, deeply affected Johnny's professional trajectory and image in the public eye. The current claims and opposing assertions put out by each side attracted attention from throughout the world, when the actor eventually relinquishing important positions, like Gellert Glundelwald from Fantastic Beasts series as a result of the fallout, notwithstanding a number of orders directing or prohibiting agreements reached throughout their divorce in 2017. Case attention among the general public ongoing, particularly given that Amber's charges prompt well-publicized judicial proceedings from Johnny in his dealings with other parties, those who have been reported by the media greatly regarding their turbulent history. Yet, details are still trickling out. Many elements pertaining to their bond and the impact of other influential people in their existence persists. Understudied individuals directly engaged with mostly choose to remain silent on these more complications. Up to this point in time, interacted with each other, bringing their tale into the courtroom as well as the headlines for AC Ross. During 2018, Amber shared an op-ed on the presenting oneself to the Washington Post as a victim of wrongdoing who did not directly using Johnny's name. This piece prompted Johnny to take Amber to court for libel, asserting that her tranquility had a profound effect on a number of films, including Pirates and Amber's Caribbean Journey. She ultimately chose to oppose suit by referencing remarks made by the solicitors representing Johnny. Questioned her veracity in 2020. Things were worse when the actor has once again taken legal action by suing a British tabloid after they called him a domestic abuser during the trial, shown distressing testimonies and visual information regarding their connections, stemming from the two sides demonstrating the alleged abuse, and rebut charges leading to an unexpected conclusion. Johnny lost the case in the UK after the court's decision. It was the Sun's assertions that were significantly indeed causing more harm to the 2022 defamation case involving Johnny's reputation. Proceeded in a live trial in Virginia, broadcast worldwide, which further heightened the media frenzy over the matter. According to Johnny's legal team, they aim to the aggressor, Amber, reveals documentation and witness statements that denied the allegations made by the security detail ex-employees and even ex-romantic partners. The courtroom was invaded by partners. The case's dramatic climax. Johnny Depp emerged victorious in the defamation suit, circumstances leading to a significant distinction and, debatably, the general assurance despite the media's substantial coverage has resulted in each side having substantially changed standings. That this disclosure has gained notice from a variety of sources, including population at large, as well as those linked during which Amber alludes about surprising future viewpoints to be considered as Johnny past encounters with Amber have served as the main center on 2 additional notable people in her existential crises. Have also prompted large-scale enthusiasm for Elon Musk and Jason Momoa after the famous actor's divorce from her. The truth is that Amber was entangled in aromance in the spotlight with technology-rich business magnate Elon Musk. Chemistry became the stuff of tabloid stories about allegedly Elon is offering financial help with a few of Amber's legal charges. Recognized for his normally confidential character in relation to private issues, Elon stays out of the spotlight when it comes to. Nevertheless, his bond with Amber, what is happening in her story keeps on. Elon's bond with Amber has evolved, prompted journalists and fans to speculate. Everyone is watching to see whether he can finally remain silent on their romance. In the meantime, the Aquaman co-star of Jason Momoa and Amber Heard's name has also surfaced in the headlines as of late. Along with the development of Aquaman during filming, rumors started spreading on the subject of Jason's conflict with his co-star, a female actor, may have suffered from influence of her court fights on the production standing. Jason's cordial attitude while filming in tandem with his fame has made admirers question his position towards Amber's prominent debates, the subject of whether, also, he is the one to divulge any fresh wisdom, particularly as anecdotes of their employment, connection and the demands of their supporter base still whirl around. All of these symbols has a special role to play in Amber's narrative, given that Elon and Jason have dropped hints about providing a clearer answer. Disclosures may lead to significant consequences for Amber, as well as for more generally how Hollywood deals with connections involving famous people, and disputes surrounding Elon's relationship. With connection between Elon's Amber Heard and Musk started in the midst of heated debates and guesswork, even if at first their work came together in 2013 while filming a film for neither of them sought for a romantic relationship. From 2016 forward, following Amber's split from Johnny Depp made their official entrance. By pair arrived in April 2017 at Elon spent time with Amber on the set of posts about Aquaman on social media. From that, their shared trips were preserved in time and they were the talk of the tabloids, captivating a sizable audience after the fact. Elon acknowledged that he was hurt as a result of their split in August 2017, portraying himself as deeply distressed and communicating that the split significantly impacted his joy in the face of this emotional conflict. Elon and Amber had a short romance that revived their connection as time comes to a close 2017. But by the beginning of 2018, they had declared their separation. Regarding Elon's reputation for being reticent in individual concerns caught the public off guard, along with sincere comments regarding the horrific character of their bond established in his autobiography written by Walter Isaacson, the brother of the subject. In an open letter, Kimball Musk blasted the connection, describing it as poisonous and mentioning his conviction that the impact of Amber on, even though Elon was causing harm, it was still his unusual remarks about his private life, from which one could see into the difficulties he encountered, and suggested that mental burden, that this partnership incorporated Elon's perspectives into his life, Amanda's reputation and ongoing legal battles. Engagements with Johnny imply complicated sentiments. Even if Tesla's CEO has rarely offered direct criticism of scandals that Amber has been involved in, took care of her pending legal matters momentarily in 2020, implying that all forget about it and go on when the time comes. At no point was Elon involved, he stressed, in the marriage of Amber, much less in dispelling speculations about his divorce helped fuel the tensions between his ex and Johnny's. Position was that of impartiality, as he suggested that all parties involved are looking for a resolution instead of on with their dispute in court. Despite this, Elon's statements in Walter's biography depict a considerably more profound emotional businessman. Elon admitted that his Amber's relationship was a background detailing the challenges relating to their romance. Tesla, the remarks made by the chairman, represented a range of respect for Amber's resolute nature, and acknowledgement of the burden their relationship became emotionally taxing for him. Peace of mind. These fresh understandings supplement on his part that is delicate and susceptible, notwithstanding the common perception of him being an unwavering public tech visionary's response to the remarks made by Elon has been several onlookers view his moments spent with Amber during her proof of his vulnerability to internal struggles and tumultuous. Some people look at Elon's relationships perspectives as a noteworthy display with compassion and exposure. This fresh perspective on Elon's personal life suggests that not even the most powerful and wealthy people in the world contend with the emotional challenges of love, dedication, and sadness. Elon's remarks, presented in Walter's biography, deeply personal viewpoint on ties, and have the ability to steer his admirers to view him as more than just a strong character, but a very sentimental, capable of forming profound love connections. The pain that Elon's recent remarks have caused in his book regarding Amber are already motivating fresh discussions over the Heard's Elon Musk's public persona and standing. This surprising candor has widened, portraying a different aspect of him in public, extends beyond the scope of his notoriety earned through his dedicated efforts, plans, and life-altering objectives to corporations such as Elon Musk's Tesla and SpaceX, Recognizing the mental and emotional burden his relationship affected him exposes a surprisingly disparate CEOs who are able to persist through the demands of construction electric vehicles and rockets, can still be substantial impact from the challenges of connections that a large number of fans witness. Use this as a chance to learn regarding Elon as a public figure. Weaknesses that are common to all individuals. In regards to Amber, though, Elon's claims extra background information on the general public's perception of her impact and people in her immediate vicinity. The actress frequently included in stories told by the media while displaying a strong character whose partnerships can at times lead to problematic fallout, as demonstrated in her struggles in court with Johnny. Elon's remarks further intensify this representation, especially considering his sibling Kimbal's unforgiving portrayal of the poisonous nature of their relationship, and Elon's personally acknowledging that his engagement to Amber presented a significant emotional hurdle. It has come to light that the feuds affects the people in her inner circle. She has still affected individuals till this day. Prominent figure, like Musk, but not the just one Jason Momoa part, among several, alongside Amber's feuds, in a dual role. As Mirror and Aquaman created a one-of-a-kind establishing rapport while filming. That facilitated the transfer of bring the on-screen chemistry of characters to life. Famed for his carefree and humorous public figure, Jason supposedly relished maintain a relaxed atmosphere on site, even irreverently ripping pages out of Amber's for her to read when he felt. It appeared to IGN that this light-hearted method act the part, as Aquaman needed a strong alliance, spanning their protagonists, enhancing their rapport. The picture seemed genuine, while still managing to Amber and Johnny Depp's legal issues. Heightened reports emerged regarding potential tensions occurring in the background, although there were reports that indicated a cordial friendship, while others pondered the question of Warner Brothers had full faith in maintaining her position, particularly in light of her legal issues intensified and started impacting how audiences respond to the film, considering how well-liked Jason and Amber are. Beyond the scope of their official duties, fans on online communities grew more outspoken, understanding their non-on-screen using encounters as hints towards the actual interactions between them, and some of their admirers even pondered whether Jason's light-hearted attitude concealed intense focus on his co-star's influence on how people felt about the movie. All the talk about their romance, heightened interest among fans on the possibility of Jason was there for Amber through everything, even her internal struggles, or if he was need to maintain a neutral stance due to new information regarding Amber's ties and encounters in the entertainment industry. Supporters thought Jason might in due time express his views on their collaboration and his understanding of Amber's individual struggles throughout their working connection. Jason, similar to how Elon Musk chose not to declaring openly in public when questioned about Amber's legal struggles, they worked together in talks. He zeroed attention on the tasks at hand and how much fun they had while filming without conversations with the potential to entice him to the media's obsession with Amber. His recent social media posts have suggested that the year 2021 is particularly significant for a complicated connection when the actress shared the happy news of the arrival of Jason. Her daughter left a heartfelt greeting. Offer this cordial feedback on her post. The hand motion signified that the respect and backers in spite of the growing scandals, albeit a few of Jason's alternatives caused some to wonder in 2022 when he is actually Amber was complicit in the defamation she endured. The trial of Johnny's admirers observed that on Instagram, Jason became his follower. People started to wonder if Jason could be subtly indicating their support. For Johnny made a move that was seen by some as slightly separating herself from Amber's personal difficulties in light of his average audience turn off these LED fans that followed to read regarding his position on the matter, analyzing it in the center as a subtle declaration in light of the increasing focus on Amber's disputes involving Aquaman in court. Apparently, Jason's fabled kingdom was instrumental in promoting to continue serving as a mirror. Amber will, while the trial was underway. Warner it was allegedly contemplated by Bros executives reduction in her participation as a result of worries regarding the potential impact of her legal battles on the reception of the film. Jason's claimed backing for keeping Amber on the team in spite of the scrutiny from the general public shows a degree while remaining faithful to his co-star and forged a bond based on the understanding that each introduced to the series, regardless of a distinct contrast, was produced by these deeds. Notwithstanding his unwavering backing for her in the job and in his personal life options, such as continuing where Johnny departed, people are questioning the sincerity of his allegiances. Set up these contradictory messages, which only heightened interest in learning Jason's actual viewpoint on the issue, should he want to share his thoughts more extensively. His ideas have the potential to influence the general public's view of Amber. Both uncover a great deal about how the priceless actors of Hollywood confront during times when one's private and public spheres connect with Jason's acts in the public eye and circumspect but revealing decisions on his connection with Amber has ignited diverse public responses to the issue, and in the minds of both moviegoers and critics, viewed his backing differently. While balancing Amber's Aquaman role with some considering his deeds as proof of his devotion to work partnerships. Even if some people doubt that he actually supports Amber because of his understated interactions with Jason, Johnny's assistant, in light of Amber's work experience, also started discussions in the entertainment industry concerning the equilibrium between studios and contingents on leading actors is the subject of public debate. But have you ever pondered the current whereabouts of Amber and the reasons behind her? Why did these three choose to end their complete stillness right now? Exactly where is her current position? Basically, Amber's Heard has transformed her life in a profound way ever since, by the end of her well-publicized Johnny Depp's defamation trial in 2022. Ignoring Hollywood and in the unending spotlight of the media, she has arrived in Spain accompanied by her young daughter Una Page, taking up a more subduedless public manner of living, which solely shaped popular perception of her change that is detrimental. Her decision has ignited fresh interest concerning her location and the character of her after a trial, and the reasons why a lot of individuals, similarly to how Jason Momoa and Elon Musk are currently experiencing, more likely to freely discuss Heron, the time after the case in which Johnny Depp received monetary compensation after the majority decision of the court. In the media pounced on Amber's favor, reporting, as well as social negative reaction. She conveyed her dissatisfaction as the decision was based on an impression of the court system's betrayal, and that left her with the impression that, social outcast in the film industry by the middle of 2016, Amber had decided to sell her house in California and bravely decided to move to. She first spent some time in Europe aboard the island of Majorca in Spain, is home to more than taking up the identity of Martha Jane Canary, in a acknowledgement of the American sharpshooter calamity later on. Jane made a more permanent home for herself. She has discovered stability in Madrid, calmness, which were severely lacking in her life. Her life in the entertainment industry has allegedly granted her the right to privacy and secrecy. She looked for intimate friends. According to the actress, Amber is centered on taking care of her daughter and following a more leisurely, family-focused way of life. One source brought out the fact that she is free to simply be in Spanish capital, being unencumbered by interruptions or strains from her past relationships, with Amber frequently seen promenading through nearby parks and relishing in mundane rituals, with awkward during interviews and last-minute interactions with Amber. A Spanish media personality, speaks Spanish well, and has communicated her devotion to her nation, asserting that she plans to remain on a long-term basis. This moving signifies a deliberate break in the midst of American unrest, and Hollywood's interminable highlight proclaims the future of Amber in film, looks hesitant as she appeared in Aquaman once again as the titular mirror. And her time spent in front of the screen was noticeably cut down to around 20 in the minutes that top fans and news outlets. It is reasonable to assume that less was a result of her director James Ju later on controversies light on the reduced function of Mazutable for the film's intended narrative. However, Amber's diminished visibility in a significant franchise leads to her growing unsteady alliance with Beyond Aquaman 2 in Hollywood. Amber lacks new positions or significant initiatives validated. Her next projects are not listed on her IMDb page. Perform at her final public event, encouraging the development of a separate 2023 film screening at the TAA Festival, was subtle and failed to imply a robust return to the culture. However, Amber has decided to withdraw from the sector, left Hollywood, and now resides overseas, has large-scale reverberations on her profession, public perception, and relationships. The space that she has, it appears that Hollywood has made it possible. Entities that were formerly associated with her last express themselves more. The liberty of Elon's choice to disclose overcoming the mental obstacles he encountered with the performer may conceivably mirror solace in the knowledge that she has ceased. Among the elite of Hollywood's lower the possibility of a swift response within the inner circle of it to her that Amber's whereabouts have changed, and way of life has probably also enabled. Jason Momoa will provide his opinions. Liberated to peak interest, her present romantic partnerships, and the potential seclusion she encounters while working entertainment sector. This particular in addition to the mental distancing from. Perhaps Hollywood is trying to suggest that she is deliberately deciding to live one's life amidst business spotlight, notwithstanding the fact that those who are closest to her insist that is committed to achieving joy and tranquilly laying the groundwork for shielding her daughter from the prying eyes of. She had a notable past. But what if the reality is, at long last, we can assert that Johnny Depp has surpassed Elon Musk. Jason Momoa and his partner had recently separated. and stunned onlookers with their insights into a shocking shift in things that Jason, Elon, and Johnny disclosed in remarks. What a large number. Of all that Amber's Hollywood has been saying was, leaving was more than simply getting away from seclusion, but rather the deliberate decline of a context in which she might have been aware that, in due time, eventually meet her Johnny's. The accusation that struck deepest was revealed. Leave was in Amber's plans all along. The film industry, until much later, when word spread in Entree to evade having to deal with the reality of her deeds, Johnny asserted that within her last moments in America, Amber shared with trusted associates the details of Harris, worried that her court cases and contentious issues could cause irreparable harm with her career. But that wasn't the last shocking thing. Jason, Elon, and Amber's erstwhile allies in fact validated her assertions, their ex-husband during their own claims made by Elon, who dated Amber following. The fact that she and Johnny broke up implied that her making the move to Madrid has less to do with, and furthermore, about a strategic evasion of Elon's description of Hollywood's regarding their abusive relationship. He implied that a new perspective had also dawned on him. Beyond her by the moment they split apart when questioned about his belief, with Elon's help, Amber planned to escape, claimed to have said that he understood why, remark number 1. She'd desire a new beginning, seen as a way to discreetly back the one owned by Johnny narrative Jason, who had collaborated extensively within the Aquaman film. Amber underwent a more subdued, yet just as informative method admirers have long cast doubt on his unexpected, following Johnny on Instagram. While defamation of Amber, Jason has now spoken up during the trial, admitting that he believed he was deceived by looks and recognizing that discovered new information about Amber while filming, something he was previously unaware of. Revelation shed light on the background of why he decided to put some space between Amber, while providing mild encouragement too. The group claims, Johnny, have moved the needle on popular perception of Amber in a may have long-lasting consequences for her media, and Hollywood insiders who are passionate about careers have no choice but to reconsider her behavior involved with her, as well as the scandals that have kept up with her work. However, things start to become really intriguing. Rumor has it that Amber suddenly broke into sobs following the revelation of what she heard what trio had to say from a great distance. Distant Spain. Rumor has it that she currently being affected by significant shame and seclusion in those in the know about Amber. In Madrid have the actress who first departed for Spain in order to starting over means re-evaluating everything, shelter. Bearing the brunt of these, her opinions have caused her to feel excessively strangers to stroll the streets with her. She is now no longer hiding who she previously was, purportedly swept up in the information on the fact that her go-to Hollywood relationships have grown apart to the point where publicly announcing the departure from Hollywood, allowed Amber and her herd to formerly unknown, is now a safe haven in Madrid is affected by the severe stirred up again by these some who are close to the revelations, assert that each time excited to welcome her solitude life in Europe. The performer is currently recognized as shying away from public appearances on a daily basis with her habits. Rumor has it that she could think about making another change, this depart for a spot that is even more isolated from the public eye and Hollywood relationships that could reunite her with her previous lives. But what are your thoughts on what is her next step? Please inform us in the comments.